wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rehan Dewa Pratama. I'm a mechanical engineering student from Muhammadiyah University of Jakarta, class of 2022. Today, I'm here as the representative of Group 6, and in this session, we have explored a topic that both exciting and future-driven, like innovation and design. Our presentation covers 6 subunits, like including working robots, eco-friendly planes, free-flying sails, zero-emission technologies, and technologies change. And the last one is vehicle safety. Each of these innovations shows how engineering continues to shape a smarter, cleaner, and safer future. So, without further ado, let's enjoy the video and dive deeper into this innovation together. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present today. My name is Rehan Jibrani Ahmad and
My name is Rama Negara.
My name is Muhammad Radhi Saputra.
and I would like to talk about design and innovation. I hope this presentation will give you a clear understanding of the key point. Table of content, design, subpoint number 1, working robots at non-close, subpoint number 2, eco-friendly plants, subpoint number 3, free flying cells, at WX question, innovation, subpoint number 4, zero emissions, relative close, subpoint number 5, technical logical, change, at past and present, simple passive, subpoint number 6, vehicle safety.
My name is Rama Negara. Will presentation about working robot. Working robot are machines designed to perform tasks and that assist human in various types of work, especially those that are repetitive, dangerous, or require high precision. Figure number 1 show guard dog robot. Figure number 2 show modern industrial robot arms, and figure number 3 show humanoid robots.
Have you ever wondered where robots came from? The idea of robots has been around for centuries. Early inventors dreamed of machines that could help us. In the 20th century, robots started to become a reality. The first industrial robot was used in a factory in 1961. This robot was called Unimate. It was a big arm that could move heavy things. Today, robots are used in many different places, from factories to hospitals. Robots have come a long way since Unimate. They are now more advanced and can do more things. We are still learning about the full potential of robots. As technology continues to improve, robots will become even more important in our lives. There are many different types of robots, each designed for a specific purpose. Industrial robots are commonly found in factories. They perform tasks like welding, painting, and assembly. These robots are often large and powerful. They help to build cars, electronics, and other products. Humanoid robots are designed to look and act like humans. They can walk, talk, and interact with people. These robots are still under development, but they have the potential to revolutionize many industries. Imagine a robot that could help you with chores around the house or provide companionship. Autonomous robots can operate without human intervention. They use sensors and artificial intelligence to navigate their environment and make decisions. These robots are used for tasks like exploration, surveillance, and delivery. Robots may seem complex, but they operate on some basic principles. Think of a robot like a human body. Robots have sensors that act as their senses, allowing them to perceive the world around them. These sensors might detect light, sound, touch, or even temperature. Just like our eyes and ears help us understand the world, sensors provide robots with information.
Noun clause. A noun clause is a group of words that function as a noun in a sentence. It can act as the subject, object, or complement, and usually begins with words like that, what, who, or whether. Type of a noun clause. Number 1, declarative noun clause. Number 2, interrogative noun clause. Number 3, relative noun clause. Number 4, essential restrictive noun clause. Number 5, non-essential non-restrictive noun clause. Function of noun clause. Act as a main subject of the sentence. Number 2, function as the object of a verb. Number 3, completes the meaning of a subject or object. Number 4, rename or explain a noun. Number 5, act as the object or of a preposition. Example of noun clause. Number 1, I know what you did. Number 2, she asked where the book is. Number 3, what he said made me smile. Let's show the video about the noun clause.
So, Mr. Ron Paul, can you explain what a noun clause is?
Well, sure I can. A noun clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb that acts like a noun.
That's right, Ron. That means it can be in the subject place or the object place in the sentence. Many times it starts with the words that, who, why, where, how, or when.
Here's an example, Mitt. I believe that I can win the election. I know how to run a country.
Rick, your noun clauses were that I can win the nomination and how to run a country.
Now, Newt. I am going to use 2 noun clauses right now. Everyone knows that I can win too. Everyone knows that I'm different from the rest of you. That everyone isn't voting for me is a mystery. They believe that I will end unnecessary wars, and that I will bring liberty back to the USA. See, I just used 3 noun clauses.
I don't know who you think you are. I don't know what you want to do. I don't even know where you want to go. I do know that I've got a great haircut. I just used 4 noun clauses.
Whoa boys, calm down. My boss just told me I gotta stop you both. See, I just used the noun clause. Well, folks, it seems that grammar will be the decision maker in this selection.
Now we will show you dialogue about noun clause. Roman and Dewa were sitting in the library after class. They had just received a segment from their English teacher and were trying to understand the instruction correctly. Dewa, do you know what the homework is?
Yes, Miss Tara told us that the homework is chapter 5.
I'm confused. Why she gave so many exercises?
She said that practice will help us improve our grammar.
I also wonder whether we have a quiz tomorrow.
I think that tomorrow is just a review session, not a quiz.
Defense. Eco-friendly defense is an aircraft designed to reduce its negative impact on the environment through various innovations, such as the use of sustainable aviation fuel or SAF, electric or hybrid propulsion, lightweight material, improved aerodynamic design, and the development of more efficient engine. Now we will show you a video about eco-friendly pets.
How do we make sustainable aviation fuel? Let's look at an example. We use oil to cook our food every day. When we're done cooking, rather than throwing the oil away, we can transform it into sustainable aviation fuel, SAF for short. So, how does that work? First, we collect the used oil from different places. And yes, you can help too. Time to transform all this oil. We heat it slightly to make it more liquid and filter it. All clean. Now we heat it again at high temperature and inject hydrogen. Wow! A chemical reaction happens and water appears among the oil. We cool it down and separate the oil from the water. We heat the oil for the third and last time and add some gases, including hydrogen, to the mix, and the oil transforms again. We cool everything down and it splits into 3 kinds of sustainable fuel. We blend the SAF with fossil fuel so it can be used in current aircraft. Finally, we take it to the airport to refuel the aircraft, ready for takeoff. And this is just one of many ways to make SAF. Is there anything you can reuse at home instead of putting it into the bin?
My name is Saint Jordan Ahmad, and free flying cells. Free flying cells are cells that are attached to the boat, ringing only at the corners, allowing them to be set and full without being permanently attached to the mast or stay. This video is free flying cells. Figure supertanker flying cells. Figure supertanker. Supertanker can refer to a giant oil tanker that carries large quantities of oil, or a large aircraft modified for aerial firefighting. Figure cargo is a term for shipping large quantities of goods, which is generally carried out by sea, land or air, both for domestic and international shipping. Figure mast is a vertical pole that rises from the deck of a ship to support various equipment and structures. This is my video, free flying cells.
You're on a sailboat and the wind is blowing from behind you. The wind will push on the sails and your boat, which is attached to the mast, will be propelled forward. No mystery there, right? But what about when the wind blows towards you or from the side? You'd think it'll be impossible for you to move forward, right? Well, think again, because not only will you go forward, but set your sails right and you can sail even faster than the wind. So how do sailboats work and sail into the wind? Short answer, your sailboat is actually an airplane on its side, and your sail is one of the wings raised vertically. When sailing, the sailor will adjust the sails so the wind pushes on the inside of the sail, keeping it stretched tight, but also at an angle so some of the wind passes along the outer side of the sail as well. This is exactly what happens on wings of an airplane. The pilot controls the angle of attack, so some of the wind pushes the wings up from below, and some of the wind, by following the curvature of the upper part of the wing, pulls the wings up as a result of the Coanda effect and Newton's third law of motion. This resultant force is called lift, and lift is what keeps airplanes flying and sailboats sailing. However, unlike the wings of an airplane where the direction of lift is vertical, in case of sails the direction is horizontal. But that's not the end of the story, because a keen observer will have noticed that the direction of lift created by the sails, while horizontal, is at an angle to where we actually want to go. We're missing something here. Well, no need to look far, because the secret sailors like to call the keel is hidden right beneath us. Remember that a sailboat is actually an airplane on its side. The sail is one of the wings and the keel is the other one, hidden underwater. When lift from the sails tries to move the boat at an angle, the water, which you can think of as much denser air, pushes on one side of the keel and pulls from the other side, creating lift. In this regard, keels are no different from sails or wings. However, unlike wings of an airplane which create lift in the same direction, up, the wings of a sailboat creates lift in different directions.
Next. WH question is a question sentence structure in English that begins with a question word that begins with WH, such as who, what, where, when, why, and how. Formula W word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus rest of sentence. Question word: who used to ask about the person who is coming to the party. Number 2, what used to ask for information. What do you want to eat? Number 3, where used to ask about a place. Where do you live? Number 4, when used to ask about time. When does the movie start? Number 5, when used to ask for a reason. Why are you laughing? Number 6, how used to explain a process. How can I get to the station? How often? Frequency of an action. How long? Like duration of an action. What time? Specific time of an action. For dialogue video. This is my video WH question.
Hello French goodie! What is the 5 W's and 1 H questioning method? The 5 W's are when, where, why, who, what. And the H question is how. Use these situations to understand when to ask these questions. Who? For a person. Mom, dad, and grandparents. What is for a thing, like a birthday. When is for time and date, like morning or night. Where is for a place or location, home or school or Singapore. Why is for a reason, walk, swim, fly. How is for steps. How are we gonna reach Singapore? Here are some sample questions. It's Saturday morning and Pants Bear is blowing balloons in the park with the help of Mama Bear. It's a very special occasion. Pants Bear just turned 6 and he's getting ready for a big birthday party with his friends. 1. What is happening? Yes, Pants Bear is blowing balloons in the park with the help of Mama Bear. 2. Where is it happening? At the park. Goody! I love parks. 3. When did it happen? It happened on Saturday morning. 4. Who is involved? Pants Bear and Mama Bear. I love Mama. 5. Why is it happening? Because it's Pants Bear's birthday. Goody! 6. How did it go? Pants Bear is very happy celebrating his birthday with his friends. His friends will be there shortly. Oh, there they are.
This is for dialogue WH question. WH question: during lunch break, Jibrani and Radi meet in the schoolyard. They discuss their after-school plans, the achievement they had to complete. Jibrani, hey Radi, where are you going after school?
Radi, I'm going to the library. What are you going to do after school?
I'm going home to rest. Why do you need to go to the library?
I need to finish my science project.
Oh, I see. When do you have to submit the project?
Tomorrow morning. Who help you with the project?
Roman helped me yesterday.
My name is Muhammad Radi Saputra. Zero emission. Zero emission is a condition in which the total greenhouse gas emission released into the atmosphere are balanced by the amount of emission absorbed or removed from the atmosphere. Figure number 1, solar panel. Figure number 2, electric car. Figure number 3, capacitor. Let's watch the video.
What does zero emissions mean? Zero emissions means that no greenhouse gases like CO2 or harmful pollutants like NOx are released into the atmosphere during industrial processes or energy use. When using zero emissions technologies like fuel cells powered by renewable hydrogen, we can reduce carbon emissions and improve air quality, which is essential to reducing pollution and meeting California's climate goals. SoCalGas Research, Development and Demonstration is advancing zero emissions technologies to build a better future for all. Learn more about zero emissions and other terms at socalgas.com/RDD.
Relative clause. Is it used to give extra information about the nouns in the main clause without starting another sentence? A relative clause. Start with a relative pronoun. Noun plus relative pronoun plus clause. Who or that. Subject or object pronoun for people. That the woman who built my house. Which or that. Subject or object pronoun for animal or things. The horse which Mary was riding is very friendly and beautiful. Where refers to a place. We found the wood where I used to go. When refers for a time expression. I will never forget the day when I graduate. Whose possession for people, animal, and things. The mother whose child is missing is very sad. Let's watch the video.
A relative clause can be used to give additional information about a noun. Relative clauses are clauses starting with the relative pronouns who, that, which, whose, where and who.
The girl who lives next door has got a puppy.
Who is used for people. It can substitute subject nouns or pronouns he, she, we, they.
My science teacher is a lady whom I like very much.
Who is used for people. It can substitute object nouns or pronouns him, her, us, them.
There's a boy in my class whose father is a professional baseball player.
Whose is used for people. It can substitute possessive nouns or pronouns his, hers, our, their.
The car which is blue is mine.
Which is used for things. It can either be subject or object.
The letter that she sent me was so emotional.
That is used for people or things. It can either be subject or object.
This is the house where I used to live as a child.
Where is used to define or give extra information about a place.
This dialogue for relative clause. Relative clause. On Monday morning, Roman and Radi were walking to class after the flag ceremony. They were discussing the news about the school science competition that had just concluded yesterday. Many students were discussing the winner and the project on display.
Radi, do you know the student who won the science competition yesterday?
Yes, I know him. It's Dewa, the boy who always studies in the library.
Oh, I remember him. He saw a robot that he built by himself.
Yes, and the teacher, Gotap Robotic, was really proud of him.
I hope he can join the next competition, which will be held next month.
Sure, that's great. Opportunity that we should miss.
Saya Dewa Pratama, and now we were talking about technological change. And technological change is throughout history occurs through a recurring process involving three key stages like invention, innovation, and diffusion. This process has driven major historical transformation, like often clustered into revolutionary periods that reshape societies, economies, and culture. For the example, like washing machine, iron, and television. And now we will see a video about technological change.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Robot Thespian.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
This is a humanoid robot, which means it looks, it talks, and it even acts, well, like a human. So does that mean it could take a human's job like mine?
You better believe it. No, I'm only joking, not really.
There's no denying robots and automation are increasingly part of our daily lives. Just look around the grocery store or the highway, or in the case of RoboThespian here, even at the theater.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain.
The rise of robots has led to some pretty scary warnings about the future of work.
Robots will be able to do everything better than us.
A recent study found up to 670,000 US jobs were lost to robots between 1990 and 2007, and that number is likely to go up. A widely cited study from 2013 found nearly half of all jobs in the US are in danger of being automated over the next 20 years. Occupations that require repetitive and predictable tasks in transportation, logistics, and administrative support were especially high risk. And just think, robots don't need health benefits, vacation, or even sleep for that matter. But the debate over whether robots will take over all of our jobs is by no means settled. Many economists argue automation will ultimately create new jobs. After all, someone has to program the robots, right? Let's go back to the 1850s, when trains were the most popular mode of transportation. This chart shows the number of locomotive engineers, railroad conductors, and brakemen increasing by nearly 600%.
We'll just see about technological change. As you can see, guys, that's very modern. And now we will talk about past and present simple passive. What is past and present simple passive? Past simple passive is a form of passive voice used to express events in the past, where the focus on the action or result of the action, not on who did the action. For the formula, present simple is S plus M or is R plus fat or 3, and the negative is using S plus M is R naught plus fat or 3, and the third one is M is R plus S plus fat or 3, and the past simple, the positive use S plus was or were plus fat or 3, and the negative is S plus was or were not plus fat 3, and the third one is was or were plus fat or 3. And the examples is the active, they build different skyscrapers, and change to the passive is different skyscrapers are built. And for past simple example is the active one is finished the project, and change to the passive will be the project was finished. Now we'll see the video about past and present simple passive.
Yesterday, Dad looked at his businessman costume.
Where did you buy this costume, Dad?
I didn't buy it. It was made for me in London. Oh no! My costume is dirty. I'll have to wash it.
Nice moustache, baby Bob.
Was it made for you in London? No, Tess. Don't be silly.
Later, after the jacket and trousers were washed, Dad got a surprise.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm sorry, Walter. I forgot to tell you. Something is wrong with the machine and the water gets too hot.
What happened to the costume? It was given to baby Bob.
You look wonderful, baby Bob.
That's a video about passive, past, and present simple. Now, next to the dialogue. One afternoon in class, the English teacher had just explained the present simple passive and the past simple passive. After the lesson, Dewa and Zibrani sat together to work on the exercise, make sure they understood the topic correctly. Zibrani, this exercise says the homework is checked every Friday. That's an example of present simple passive, right?
Yes, that's right, because it's checked so that the action is done regular by someone.
And this one, the test was given yesterday. Is that past simple passive?
Yes, because it was given so something that already happened in the past.
Okay, so if I say the class is clean by the janitor every morning, that's present simple passive.
Correct, and I say the class was cleaned by the janitor last night. That's past simple passive.
Now, next to the next topic is vehicle safety. What is vehicle safety? Vehicle safety involves in a combination of driver, behavior, vehicle maintenance, and advanced safety technology to prevent accidents and reduce injuries. Key practice include wearing seat belts, proper vehicle maintenance like checking tires and brakes, and adhering to traffic laws. This the example for cruise control. What is the purpose and benefit of cruise control? There's a 5-point. The first one is reduce driver fatigue, and the second one is maintains a stable speed. The third one is improve fuel efficiency, and the fourth is reduce the risk of speeding violation. And the last one is provides a smoother driving experience. Now the example for airbags. Function and purpose of airbag is the first one is reduce the risk of serious injury, and the second one is to absorb impact energy. The third one is complement seatbelt function. The fourth one is improve vehicle cabin safety, and the last one is reduce fatalities and injuries. And the last one is anti-lock braking system. Yeah, as you can see, the app's function and purpose same. There's 5 function and purpose. The first one is to prevent wheel lock-up during hard braking, and the second one is to maintain steering control. The third one is improve safety on slippery roads, and the fourth one is shortens braking distance in some conditions. And the last one is to reduce the risk of head-on collisions. And now we will see a video about vehicle safety.
Welcome to a discussion on safety features for cars. Cars are a huge part of our lives, and having the right safety features can make all the difference when it comes to protecting ourselves and our loved ones on the road. In this discussion, we will explore 10 essential safety features that every car should have, and we encourage you to join in by sharing your own experiences and insights. There are many important safety features that every car should have to ensure the safety of its occupants. Here are 10 essential safety features that you should look for when buying a car. Airbags. Modern cars are equipped with front and side airbags that deploy in case of a collision. Airbags help to reduce the risk of serious injury during an accident. Anti-lock braking system, ABS. ABS prevents the wheels from locking up during sudden braking, allowing the driver to maintain steering control and avoid a potential collision. Electronic Stability Control, ESC. This feature helps prevent skidding and loss of control by applying brakes to individual wheels and reducing engine power. Blind Spot Monitoring, BSM. BSM alerts the driver when there's a vehicle in their blind spot, reducing the risk of a collision during lane changes. Rear View Camera. A rear view camera helps the driver to see what's behind them, reducing the risk of backing into objects or people. Lane Departure Warning, LDW. LDW alerts the driver when the vehicle begins to drift out of its lane, reducing the risk of a collision.
Yeah, that's a video about vehicle safety. That's a material that we can next question and answer session. There's a question to you guys about our material that our group.
My name is Arhan. What is the role of SA sustainable aviation fuel in aviation sustainability?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Anything else?
I have a question. What materials are generally used in making free flying seals?
Yeah.
Okay guys, introduce myself. My name is Aulia Rizky. I have a question. What is the function of a relative clause in a sentence? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I will answer question number 1. What is the role of SEF in the efficient sustainable? SEF can reduce CO2 emission by up to 18% compared to conventional fossil fuel, making its rapid solution for more sustainable efficient. Thank you. Do you agree with my quick answer?
Thank you. Thank you. I will answer question number 2. Material ordinarily used is making free flying cell. Material are usually light and flexible, such as nylon, stock, polyester, lightweight, Kevlar, or thin composite material. Do you agree? Answer number 2. Do you agree? Answer number 2. Okay, thank you.
Question number 3. Its function is to explain or provide additional information about nouns so that the meaning of the sentence become clear and more specific. Do you agree with my answer?
Maybe our last word for this session presentation about our group. Before I end, I would like to thank you guys for the attention and for the time. Maybe from us is thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
So that was the video recording of our presentation. Thank you all for watching and for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye guys.
No, 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 no. Just like the wind. I'm an icon, man. And my girl about a 10. I should fuck her in the Benz.